Ah, the crusher of bones.
Hey, what's up, my peoples? EmGo here, the freaking geek himself, and today we will be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe class, Bonecrusher. So here we are, and there he is, and first and foremost, as always, we'll take a quick look at the packaging. Right up front here, we have some lovely artwork there of Bonecrusher, robot mode, alt mode, from the Transformers, the movie, Constructicon Bonecrusher. On this side, we just have the rest of the picture. Here he is, a Deluxe classic. On this side, we have Devastator. He is, this is weird. So on Scrapper's box, it said 1 of 5. On Bonecrusher's box, it says 2 of 6. They can't make up their minds. Anyway, up top, the Transformers the movie, Bonecrusher on the bottom, words, things, stuff. On the back of the box, you have your obligatory product shots, little screenshot there from the movie. And of course, you have your little read up in multiple languages. Hooray for languages. And that's basically it for the packaging. Then moving right along, here we have Bonecrusher, the next of our Studio Series 86 Constructicons. And here he is in his robot mode. He is packed in robot mode. A little stocky dude he is, but let's get in close so we can take a look now at that big old chest, at that noggin. Whoop, there it is. Very nice head sculpt. Got some nice silver going on there. Got that red for the visor. Got that flat top going there. Yeah, nice head sculpt. Oh, we got the Decepticon symbol there, front and center. It is off center though. It's not totally lined up. It should be a little bit more over here, but it's okay. Well, we got some bits of purple, some red. Got the fist there, painted in purple. We have some little hits of silver here on the sides. Now, usually I would complain about the lack of paint, but when it comes to Bonecrusher, I can't, because this is pretty much all the color that Bonecrusher is supposed to have on him. So in this case, the lack of color is pretty accurate. Actually, these hits of silver are actually a bonus, really, when you think about it. But yeah, this is pretty much all the color he's supposed to have. So in this case, can't complain. Anyway, got his tread legs going on there, his tread feet, and Bonecrusher booty, although it's a hollow booty, but it's, it's there. And you see a little bit of a backpack there. That's obviously going to be for the combined mode forearm there. This piece right here, this section is a separate piece. It's packed separately, and it just slides right on. A little T-tab there, and you just slide it right on, click it into place. But yeah, that is pretty much it there. Now, articulation-wise, what have we got? I'm gonna tell you. So the head can just rotate. It's on a rotational joint there. He can, he can't look down. You have to kind of move his chest out of the way, but he can look down. He can look up some. The arms can do a full 360. Can move in and out. You just have a ball jointed elbow there. So right there is your rotation. You got a little bit over 90 degrees of bend. Nothing at the wrist. The wrist is just molded in. This is all one piece here. So nothing at the wrist. He does have a waist joint, but it's attached to his chest. So if you undo that, then you have access to that waist joint, but then his chest goes with it. So that kind of makes for some weird posing there if you actually try to use that. So that doesn't really, yeah. But the legs, they can move pretty much all the way up. They can move pretty much all the way back. Outward, he can do the full splits. You got thigh rotation. You do have to unlock his knees. There's a little looping point here. And once you get the knee going, you get 90 degrees of bend as far as the feet. The toes and the heels can move down. That's pretty much it. And you get your ankle tiltage. And one more quick thing to note articulation-wise is that he does actually have a hinge here that allows an ab crunch, but then that kind of happens. But luckily, you do have a lot of hinges here to work with, so you can actually bring that down and actually kind of make that work to where he doesn't look totally weird. But, hey, it's things you can do if you want to do it. Now, as far as accessories go, he just gets his little blaster here. It's done in a dark gray plastic, and yeah, that is all you get there with Bonecrusher. And if you would like to store his weapon, there is a port right back here. So you can plug that in for storage. Hooray for storage. Or, of course, he can wield his weapon and pew pew bang bang, and all of that good stuff. And yes, his blaster is Blues compatible. Yes, it is Blues compatible. So we can plug that in. And we can do a big old bone crushing Blues. So there you have that, and now for comparison. Here he is with the Devastation Prime, just in case anybody was curious as to how that's going to work out. Here he is with Grimlock, in case anybody's wondering how these guys are going to look next to the Dinobots. Here he is with Earthrise Megs. Here he is with the Combiner Wars Bonecrusher. So you can see how that works out. And here he is with G1 Bonecrusher because he's precious. Oh, so weird, but oh, so precious. And here he is with Scrapper. So you can see how the team is starting to shape up. So there you go. So that is basically it for the robot mode. You know, he's just a, beefy, stocky bot here. Some things that I did notice is there are some things that don't serve any purpose for the alt mode or for the robot mode, and I'm assuming they're purely for the combined mode. These slots right here serve no purpose for robot or the alt mode. So again, assuming that's for the combined mode, there's this panel here that flips down, which again, serves no purpose for the robot or the alt mode, so I'm taking a wild guess that's purely for the combined mode. But yeah, that's a bridge we'll cross when they build it. But let's get down to transformation, shall we? Let's. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rotate the forearm 180. Then we're going to use this double joint here. Yes, he has a double joint for the back of his elbow, not the front, unfortunately. But we want to bend this all the way up, and there'll be a tab slot connection that happens right there. So just plug that in, and same thing on the other side. Rotate that, and bring that up, and tab that in. And next we're going to just raise up the canopy here and bring this up so we can take this entire assembly here, unclip it, and rock that down. And then we're just going to take his head and flip that in. We're going to take the arms and rotate them. And then we're going to take this entire shoulder assembly and swing it in. Swing that in. Be mindful that there is a little tab that'll go into a groove in here. So we get that all situated. Tab slot connection right there for the forearms as well. So get that all in place. Once you've done that, you can take all this, bring that up, and clip that together. So you have a solid piece right there. And now we're going to take the canopy and bring that up, take this section and just rotate it under. And now we can work on the legular region. And all we're going to do here is just take the toe and the heel and just bring those down. Toe and heel, bring those together, and now we'll just swing the legs back, and we'll have a tab slot connection here, tab slot connection here. So just get that lined up, and just get all that tabbed into place. There we go. Get the other side here, and in this case we'll have the tabs on the legs that'll go in there. So again, just get that lined up. And get that popped in. And the last thing to do is bring down this entire assembly, untab it from there, and then you're just going to bring it down at this hinge and then bring it back up at this hinge. And then you have a tab that'll go into a slot right there. Tab that in place. And make sure everything is nice and squozen. And there you go. There you have Bonecrusher in his alt. Oh, not a bad spin. But there he is in his alt mode. And a very green construction vehicle he is. Yeah, there he is in his alt mode. Very nice. Very compact. all comes together quite nicely. But let's get in close so we can take a look at the little details. We have a nice Decepticon symbol right there, front and center. We got some bits of purple up there on that front grille, and everything else, just a whole lot of green. We do have some nice molded detail in there, though. Get those little hits of silver there inside the treads, and yeah, just a whole lot of green. And there is the top, there is the bottom. He does not have any rolling wheels, but he can still slide. He can slide like sliding things slide. Hooray for sliding. Yeah. And for comparison, here he is with the Devastation Prime. Here he is with Megs, with the Combiner Wars Bonecrusher, and with G1 Bonecrusher, because precious. Very precious. And with his Brochacho Scrapper. So, there you go. And as far as the accessories, we can store his little blaster. It's just a simple case of taking it and plugging it into either of these ports, like so. And there you have your storage. Hooray for storage. So just like with Scrapper, this guy does not come with instructions on how to get him into combine mode. So since I don't have instructions for that, I'm not going to venture a guess. We'll just wait until instructions are provided. So we'll just save that for a later date. So for now, that is pretty much it. So there you have Bonecrusher, and yeah, it's fine. It's a fine figure. Bonecrusher was never the most visually appealing, the most visually exciting of the Constructicons. So, it's pretty much par for the course for Bonecrusher. He's a nice, chunky, stocky bot. I do think the alt mode looks better than the robot mode, personally. Some articulation limitations, but, it is what it is. But all in all, though, he's a pretty solid bot, so there you go. Now, I picked this up from Robot Kingdom. I'll put a link to their site in the description down below so you can check that out. You can also check out the Studio Series Devastator playlist for any reviews you may have missed. Also linked in the description down below so you can check that out as well. And I think that's it, so don't forget to check out EmGo's, check out Love, Peace, Paranormal, follow me on Twitter, all of that good stuff down in the description below, and I think that's pretty much all there is to say. So, there is the Transformers Studio Series Deluxe Class Bonecrusher, and this is EmGo saying, remember, you don't stop playing because you grow old because you stop playing. Be geek, be proud, palm in your face. Well, everything seems to be going well. Bonebreaker, report! That's Bonecrusher, you jerk. Yeah, he tends to do that.